What is up? My name is Mossiprose here on behalf of Trinor Studios. We're going to do a video today about Fortnite and Apex on the Nintendo Switch. I had some time to play both Fortnite and Apex. Apex is a recent release on the Switch, and I like to see how the Battle Royale games really stack up against each other. Fortnite just recently got an update which increases some resolution, increases some shadow detail. Apex just came out, and it's got some things to like and some things to dislike, so I think it's worth covering them both, and I think this is a good place to do it. So let's jump in there and let's see what these games are all about. Let's Battle Royale on Nintendo Switch. Right off the bat, Apex, it runs at a 720p resolution on docked mode, sub 720p in handheld. I don't even know how people would play this game, to be honest, in handheld mode. So if you are going to try this out, definitely do it in docked mode, and I'm sure it probably looks okay on a 1080p screen. On a 4K screen with that sub 1080p resolution, it looks rough. Kind of headache inducing just because of the lower frame rate. One thing you notice off the bat is the frame rate does chug right off the start, but then again, I mean, you know, PUBG does that on PS4 and Xbox, so I mean, you can't fault it on that one. By the time you get down to the ground here, it smooths itself out to a fairly reasonable 30. It still has drops when the action happens, but it's a fairly consistent 30. Right off the bat, though, as you can see, the full game's here. You can access everything you can in the other game. It's got cross-play with the other platforms, which is currently what this is. I personally think it's a horrible idea. The trade-offs are just too big on Switch to offer a good cross-play experience. Literally everyone else that plays will have a better advantage than you do. So just one of those things to note right off the bat. Looks like my team was under attack here, so I'm gonna run around, see if I can find some people. Obviously I'm gonna score myself some armor on the way through. But you'll see as soon as we get into the battle here, the frame rate seems good, but the problem is it's really hard to see the people. So to get an idea of how you're gonna shoot at a distance, it's rough. But either way, I mean, it's still serviceable. It's not terrible. If you're playing against other people that are also on Switch, I don't know why I punched there. But if you're playing against other people on Switch, I can see this would be a fine experience for me. I'd feel comfortable. If you're playing this against people on PS5 and Xbox Series X, well then yeah, I'd have a little bit of a problem here. Not really a fan of playing against those players with a reduced resolution that's so low, plus the 30 FPS. It's too many trade-offs to offer. So I do hope that Apex comes out with a mode that does not allow crossplay. I mean, I know they can turn crossplay off, but I'd love to see it just be Switch only. I think it could get a good following if you're just playing against Switch players. But if you're playing against everybody else, I mean, it's rough. Anyway, moving over to the Fortnite side of things, we got a slightly higher resolution. We hit a wonderful resolution of about, I don't know, almost 900p. I think it's like 8 something. Either way, it's a step up from what Apex offers. But at the same time, I mean, there are definite trade-offs compared to the other versions. Reduced shadows, reduced textures, reduced resolution, you know, reduced everything, which is standard for the Switch anyway. But I think the trade-offs are a little less here. I think the full game is better intact here. Sure, there are some limitations on the system. The sound is the one that drives me insane. I don't know if you just heard when I picked up that crate back there. There's literally like a 2.5 second delay before the sound of me opening the crate happens. And it fixes itself over time, but at the same time, it's annoying. So, you know, we gotta mention that. But at the same time, it's an okay experience. The other thing is there's no animations. If you've ever played the Xbox versions or anything like that, you'll know that, you know, when you're hitting an object or something, there's a little bounce to it, you know, because it's a cartoonish game and it's got that feeling. We definitely don't get that on the Switch, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it's just something you notice because you played the other versions, but it's not something you're going to notice if you haven't. And then, yeah, I mean, as you can see, aiming and stuff is a little rougher than on the other versions, just mostly because of the frame rate limitations and the view, but it's still okay. I do believe I got attacked by a team of bots here in this solo match. There's another one around the corner. None of them seem to have weapons, so it was kind of an interesting experience overall. as you can see. But, you know, the whole game's here. I mean, I'm running it. I think it runs and feels a lot smoother than the Apex Legends version. But at the same time, I mean, there's still trade-offs. There's still negatives. I just think Epic has really stepped up its game to optimize this for the Switch. And I love that, you know, even if I was playing against, you know, I know they group you with mobile and Switch players only anyway, which is actually a really welcome thing for me, because I think that, you know, the advantage for other consoles is really high. But on top of that, I mean, I think it just makes sense to group those groups together as opposed to lumping everybody in with half the frame rate. So it's a good way to do it. If you do, you can play. If you play with someone on Xbox, you can play with them if you'd like. They totally allow that. Whether you should or not is another story, but at least they let you know that it's possible. Before I go, and before I wind down this video, I did want to include this wonderful clip here of my team here in Apex. They carried me to a win and a half, and I gotta give them credit, because I was gonna go pick this guy up, and I have no idea what happened at the end there. But big shout out to my teammates there. I can't even remember their names, but if you see it in the clip and you know those guys, tell them thanks.
You are the Apex champions.
So what do we get out of this? I think Fortnite is probably the better experience overall. I think we got Apex as a game. I think it still needs some work. I think it's panic button, so I think they could do the work. So I have high hopes for that one. I really think that they can increase what they have already. And for the love of God, give me some grass. Fortnite, though, the higher resolution, the further draw distance, everything kind of pieces together. It hits that 30 FPS way better than Apex ever did or ever has in this moment so far. So I think it's the better choice if you're looking for a decent VR game on Switch. Apex, I think it has the potential to be a great game on Switch. I just don't think it's quite there yet. But it's still fun to try, and it's still free. Both of these games are free. Give them a try them out, see if they're good. I think this is where we end this video, though, so let me know what you think down in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, and all that other fun stuff that goes along with YouTube. If you want to check out more of our stuff, check out trinorstudios.com. If you want to check out my stream, Twitch TV/Mossiprose, yeah, check us out. Enjoy. Thanks for watching. Bye.